Women in surfing, because obviously there's been massive changes over the years, and you've obviously seen a hell of a lot in your time. Um, yeah, let's talk about that, and then where do you think women in surfing will go in the future?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I've gone through like two or three different generations almost. Like growing up, all my idols were Lane Beachley and Megan and Bubo, Sophia Milanovic, Chelsea Georgeson, now Chelsea Hedges.
Mm,
And I remember there was actually girl surf movies out that I could watch, and um, I remember one like seeing, I think, Soph or Megan doing like a little reverse or like a little 360, and thinking that was like so progressive and cool. So that was like, yeah, probably almost 20 years ago, which it kind of was back then.
yeah.
um, and then, yeah, it kind of just almost got better and better. My year that I was trying to qualify for the world tour, Lane Beachley was retiring. So I actually remember the last event at Haleiwa, I needed to make one more heat to qualify. And Lane, who I'd looked up to my whole like career, came over and asked me like what I needed to do. And I knew that I needed to make one more heat. And she was the one that said like, oh, no pressure. And I kind of like couldn't believe it, because she was like, yeah, my idol. But then I was like, oh, like that's kind of, yeah, that's the competitiveness coming out in her, like even
Mm,
though she's retiring. So
yeah.
um yeah, that was pretty eye-opening for me, like just this little grom.
Yeah.
um yeah.
No
But yeah,
pressure.
she's
Yeah.
definitely like paved the way for so many of us.
Yeah.
Um and then the next one, obviously, I think was, I mean, there's a lot of women way before that as well, like Pauline Mentzer and all of that crew as well that you'd see on that documentary, Girls Can't
Yeah.
Surf.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, which is pretty amazing.
Mm,
And then it went to, I guess, like Steph Gilmore, who was leading it for years and still kind of is. And then Carissa Moore. I remember, I think she got, yeah, like first or second at Snapper when she was only like 13 or 14 or something, which,
wow.
yeah, that was probably like the next stage in women's surfing. Like she was just doing all kinds of tricks and moves that just like another turn pretty much that a lot of the women couldn't do at the time. So
Mm,
um yeah, it's progressed a lot. And then I was on tour when the equal pay came out, which was pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I've
Big big
been that.
revolution there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's interesting how that finally sort of caught up. Um, given how long women have been doing the sport, and like like you said about that movie, the small amount of pay women were getting, and always surfing in the most rubbish conditions. You know, um, it's certainly, yeah, it's certainly not fair, but it's like credit to you, Paige, from you've been doing it for such a long time, and you would have seen so many changes over the years. So it's actually really fascinating to actually hear about what you've been through, really. Like you said, that persistence, that's like a massive sort of key thing, I guess, for anyone, or any athlete really that's passionate about what they're doing. Um,
yeah.
where do you think surfing, like in the future, will go?
I think, I mean, that instantly, wave pools instantly came to my head. I know WSL would like to involve a few more wave pools, and yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think my last year on tour, they were actually trying to get 3 wave pool events on tour, but the surfers actually said no to that.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, that's probably like the biggest one at the moment. And then as well as the Olympics as well. That's pretty cool. Surfing's in the Olympics now. But yeah, I think it will still probably mainly be all about WSL and the world title on the World Surf League. Yeah, it's just hopefully they can keep trying to go to really good spots, and yeah, just all the Brazilians with their crazy ears, and
Yeah.
that's just going to progress so much more, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was
who
about to
knows?
say, I think the ears where that's going now, I think that's going to have big changes down the track, and slowly women are start incorporating more into their surfing, which is really cool to see. Yeah, do you think that that's where that's definitely going to go into the air game, or they're going to start doing just bigger hacks and bigger surf, or?
Yeah, I think probably the surfers and the judges would still like to keep the traditional surfing as well. Like they still like a bit of both. Even at Manly last week, you'd see some guy do like a massive air reverse, and
Mm,
but then another guy would do just like 4 massive like carves, and they'd get similar scores. So yeah, I think it is nice to keep both in the game, and
mm,
otherwise it will just be a bit of a gymnastic show,
yeah, yeah,
which is cool. But yeah, it's nice to have that balance.
totally. Yeah.
And yeah, who knows where the future's going to go? I think it's definitely going to be like bigger, crazier airs.
Mm,
And then yeah, obviously that power surfing's still going to be there as well.
yeah.